Where are you from? It's the first question people ask when they meet you. Not just out of curiosity, but to place you, to categorize you. It's the first thing they want to know about you. Even if you are from the same country, they want to know which city you are from. To make sense of who you are in a world full of labels. Back in time, humans identified themselves with tribes, communities bound by shared culture, survival, and belief. It was simple. You belonged to a tribe, and that defined you. Then came countries, borders, nations. The world became divided by flags, by lines drawn on maps. Today, we carry our identities in passports, in nationalities, in the way we're categorized by others. But beneath the surface, something deeper drives us. Humans have always needed to belong to something, to someone, to a place. But what if the question wasn't just, where are you from? What if it became, where are you going? What are you becoming? Because where you're from, that's permanent. It's your roots, the soil that shaped you. But what you're made of, that's something you can build. That's something that changes, layer by layer, moment by moment. You are built from both what you were given and what you've picked up along the way. You're shaped by the culture you were born into, by the people you've met, by the experiences you've had. Physically, we're all just matter. We are stardust, atoms bound together, an intricate dance of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Elements that existed since the beginning of time, coming together to form life. Our bodies are made of elements that have crossed the universe, traveled through stars, through time. We are literally made of the universe. Yet, we're more than just biology. We are also shaped by thought, by memory, by experience, by the narratives we create, by the stories we choose to carry with us. If you look closely, our minds are shaped by what we consume, the books we read, the voices we listen to, the art that moves us, the media that shapes our beliefs, our desires, our fears. Every song you've listened to on repeat, every movie that spoke to you, every podcast that made you think differently. You're built from what you experience, the people you let in your life, the conversations you have, the values you adopt, and the boundaries you set. And then there's the more practical side. You are made of what you consume, literally. You're a cycle of intake and output. Your body is constantly changing, adapting, evolving. Every cell that regenerates, every thought that connects, every action that leaves a mark on the world. But it goes beyond that. What you create is part of what you've made of too. The things you put out in the world, your art, your work, your relationships, your contributions. Think of ourselves as passive consumers. We scroll, we watch, we listen. But what if we shifted the focus? What if we looked at ourselves as active creators, shaping the world with everything we bring in and everything we send out? Every conversation you spark ignites new connections. It exists in someone's memory. Every creation, big or small, adds a new layer to who you are. You become the things you make, just as much as the things you consume. Not just physically, like the food that builds your bones or the air you breathe, but mentally, emotionally, the media you take in, the voices you follow, the energy you absorb. Every time you scrolled past someone else's idea and thought, I wish I made something like that, all of that builds you, quietly. You begin to see the world not just as something to take in, but something you're in conversation with. You start noticing little things you've ignored, textures, patterns, the way people speak, the color of the sky before it rains. Your brain begins to work differently. You're no longer just watching, you're interpreting, translating, expressing. And in that process, you meet yourself. Creating shows you what you care about, what you fear, what you hope for. It teaches you how to speak in your own language, not the one handed to you. Humans are conscious, sentient beings. The ability to think, to feel, to question, to reflect. It's the most magical, complex thing in the universe. It's a gift we've been given, but it's also a responsibility. Think about it. Your mind. It can shape reality. It can process information in ways no machine ever could. It allows you to dream, to reason, to make decisions, to feel a connection to the people around you, to the world at large, and to yourself. The brain is constantly working, connecting, adapting. Every moment, new neurons are firing, new connections are forming. In its complexity, it mirrors the universe itself, vast, mysterious, and full of potential. What we do with this power is up to us. How we use our minds, how we use our consciousness. That's what shapes the world. That's what shapes us. And here's the thing. What you create, the thoughts you manifest, the art you make, the stories you tell, they come from this mind of yours. It's your consciousness that processes everything you've absorbed, that turns your experiences into something new. In a world that constantly consumes, you have the power to create, to add to the noise with your own voice, to transform everything you've taken into something uniquely yours. So don't waste this gift. Don't passively exist. Engage your mind, engage your heart, and let your creations flow from that place of awareness. Because once you start creating, you start seeing. And when you truly see, the world starts to change. And suddenly, the question becomes, what are you doing with all that you're made of? Are you only consuming what others create? Or are you using everything inside you, your culture, your memories, your instincts, your pain, to build something of your own? There's no right way to start. You don't need fancy tools. You don't need permission. You just need to say, I'm ready to see what happens when I make something. Create, because you're alive. Create, because you've got something to say, even if it's still taking shape. Create, because the world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs your perspective. Start messy, start scared, start small, but start. Everything has been done. The stories have been told, the songs have been sung, the colors have been painted, the scripts have been written, the footsteps have already walked the paths you're thinking of. But none of that matters, because it hasn't been done by you. It hasn't been shaped by your hands, your thoughts, your experiences, your memories, your doubts. You bring something no one else can, your point of view, your interpretation, the way you see the world, and how you make sense of the chaos, the beautiful, the mess of it all. Even if it's an echo of something old, it still carries your breath, your fingerprint. And that's what matters. What you create is yours, because no one else sees the world the way you do. So stop consuming and start creating, and see who you become.